Hey guys, my name is Devontae and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. You might want to get some popcorn, you might want to get some peanuts, you might want to grab your favorite beverage drink because this is going to be a while because I got a lot to say about this. A lot. But let me just set this up for you guys really quick, just in case people are watching this 10 billion years in the goddamn future. MJF, which by the way, 10 billion years in the future, no, I'm sorry, 10 years in the future. At this rate, no one's really going to give a shit about this video because no one's going to give a shit about MJF at this rate. MJF currently right now is the World Heavyweight Champion. He's been champion since last year's Full Gear. He's coming up on a 1-year title reign. I need to ask you guys a question. People who are prominently right here in this era, people who are prominently right here watching AEW television in real time, what has MJF done as World Heavyweight Champion? I'll wait, because apparently we have to take this conception of believing, well, a guy can go out there and have some really decent matches. Well, a guy can go out there and he has the ability to cut a good promo. That in itself merits him doing something with his world title reign. Do you guys know what a world title reign is? A world title reign is actually going out there, not only defending the belt on a consistent basis, not only upping the prestige of a championship, because people forget it's only been about 4 years. That championship belt is still relatively new. Actually having that championship main event, actually having that championship displayed on a consistent basis, being told time and time again the importance of that championship belt. You know, when Edge came back, one of the first things he said last night in that promo is that he wants to go after the World Heavyweight Championship, or that the World Heavyweight Championship looks pretty damn good around his waist. I couldn't disagree more. Because why the fuck would you care to want to go after a World Championship that apparently not even the boss, not even the promoter cares about? When was the last time you seen the, not even just MJF, but the world title in general, meaningfully? You know what? I won't even say meaningfully. Let's even take out that caveat. I'll even be more broader to let you guys explain yourselves. When was the last time the World Heavyweight Championship, or the World Champion for that matter, main evented a Dynamite? I'll wait, because you're gonna have to dig a lot deep in that past. Oh, you're gonna have to go a few months in the past to pull up that statistic right there, to pull up that situation right there, which is so insane to me. It is insane to me that you have this equity agenda in your mind, feeling that, well, that main event spot is so precious that everybody should at least have a spin around the block with the main event spot. Not, this is our headline, this is where most people theoretically will come and watch the programming. People will skip, people will go do other things, but they'll watch the opener and they'll watch the main event segment. And you go out of your way to sabotage that time and time again because of your stupid ass equity agenda that this person needs to be in the main event slot just to say that they did it. Just to put heat on them because you believe that actual spots, actual fucking titles are what's needed and what's used in order to get a person over. The person in themselves can't get themselves over. They can't talk in a microphone. They can't go out there and actually have an actual legitimate character. They can't relate to the audience. They can't have any, even quips, such things such as catchphrases that people can recite and actually say to themselves, oh, I remember that guy. Oh, that guy is fun. No, the prestige comes from the actual position of being in the main event position, or actually holding a world title, holding any title for that matter, but in particular the world title. You know how ass backwards that is? You know how insane that is? Can you imagine just for 1 second Stone Cold Steve Austin being the world champion back in 1998 and Vince McMahon not once ever main eventing him because he says to himself, well, I mean, we got Steve, he is the world champion. I mean, why try to help out him get more over when he's the world champion? Once I make you the world champion, that automatically means that you're super fucking over and everybody fucking knows you. Why? Because world champion. That makes no fucking sense at all. And apparently this is what Tony Khan's mindset is. That's what it is. I can't think of any other reason why you would, because here's the thing, you see the title, I feel as if 10% of the earnings goes on someone like an MJF. The 90% goes completely on a Tony Khan. Because even though I would say that MJF is indeed getting stale, make no mistake about it, he's already a few weeks into his actual legitimate face run, and he's stale already, because that's not the kind of character that MJF is. That's not the kind of role he should be playing. You should be doing everything and anything to accentuate the points of him being a bad guy. I just gotta finish getting into an argument. I wouldn't really say argument, but a discussion. I dropped on my community post yesterday talking about, or was it a couple days ago? I can't remember. Monster having this take, which, by the way, I respect Monster. I like his takes from a logical and reasonable standpoint. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it, but I like it because it's like, okay, well, I can see from the perspective, but how about this idea? Is my perspective when going into any kind of discussion when talking about the Monster. This I wholeheartedly disagree with, just flat out, because it makes no logical sense to me. That the biggest heels are the justifiable ones, the ones who can make sense out of everything, the ones who could be completely logical. No, it's not. Once you have reasoning, once you have someone feeling justified, then all you do is make them relatable to the audience. Because what's the first thing the audience is going to say? That guy's being fucked over. Why in the hell am I booing a guy that's being fucked over? No, I don't want to boo that guy anymore. I want to boo the person, especially in today's audience, with professional wrestlers today, or professional wrestling fans today. Not to get all political, but most, if not all, internet wrestling fans are mainly on the left. They're mainly progressives for the most part. Look at someone like Sean Ross Sapp. Look at all the people in the journalistic wrestling community or media or whatever. Look at the wrestlers themselves. They're all on the left for the most part. So they have a delusional way of thinking that everything and anyone and anything should be empathized if they happen to be down on their luck. Never mind the moral compass, never mind the moral situation, never mind what it does to the next person. Their whole thing is that person is on his downfall. We need to bring him back up. And we need to feel good about ourselves by bringing him back up. That's how the wrestling fan today relates with the business, specifically in the IWC, because that's who usually dictates the reaction of what a superstar is going to get in the future. You have all of these people that MJF have gone up against, the likes of a Bryan Danielson, the likes of, say, Adam Cole, for an example, right? Who else has he wrestled in his world title reign? Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, all at one time in one feud. All that stuff happening at one fucking time or another. You tell me, you give me a dope segment out of any of those three feuds. Give me a dope segment. Give me something that's incredibly memorable for a world champion to accompany himself with. No haha, no giggles, no none of that shit. I don't want to hear any of that stuff with Adam Cole. All right? You got three other people within this feud talking about Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and fucking Sammy Guevara. No, all four of them could have cut promos to save their own fucking soul. Couldn't get shit over. Not to mention, they can't even main event the fucking pay-per-view. That just tells you how over they are. And you have Daniel Bryan and fucking MJF, who admittedly had one of the best matches of the year, not taking that away from them. But you tell me a memorable segment between Daniel Bryan and MJF. I'll wait. Tell me a memorable segment. Any of the memorable segments come mainly from Daniel Bryan having actual fucking wrestling matches. You can't sit here with a straight face and tell me something memorable that MJF has done as a world champion. Even some of the more things that I think to myself aren't really that big of a deal, but some people for some reason want to take it out of context and say, whoa, yeah, because we need to look at this thing that is completely fucking irrelevant and then say to ourselves, whoa, yeah, it means a lot. No, it fucking doesn't. For an example, MJF and someone like a Ricky Starks, they had a promo battle a couple of months ago. In the grand scheme of things, it means jack shit, but if you want to use it as an argument, okay, so be it. Let's use it as an argument. They had a feud over the World Championship for like 2 or 3 weeks. Where did that go? What was the most memorable segment out of that whole ordeal? Oh, wait, that's right. People talk about Ricky Starks before they talk about fucking MJF, the World Champion. But you would say to yourself, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how, look at Ricky Starks right now, compared to where Ricky Starks was at the time when he was actually wrestling the world champion. Is he really, has he really grown that much? That much? You may say he's on the rise currently at the moment, won't dispute that. But did that come from working with MJF? Or did that come with having to build up his own character, build up his own personality, build himself up, get himself over in spite of the booking in regards to an MJF being one of the many examples as to what's been fucking him over? And then we come to the main culprit. Because again, like I said, this 10% stuff that I discussed early on that I put on MJF, 90% of all of this goes directly on Tony Khan. Because as I said before, MJF is getting stale. He is. Because of what the shit he has to work with. And I don't really feel that he's that good if he can't maximize, no pun intended, any of his characteristics to distinguish from each different scenario that he's plugged into to have to get something over. If you're that much of a generational talent, then you even being stuck in limbo, you should be able to get yourself out of that. You should be creative enough to get yourself out of that position, to still being able to cultivate some type of feeling where you're actually drawing outside of your main fan base. But you can't do that. Yet you're calling yourself a generational talent. Generational talents can get out of that limbo. The Rock has to do it. The Rock has done it. 2011, an actual fucking star. Well, Millennial, The Rock was actually fucking over at the point. And how did he get over to begin with? You think fucking Rocky Maivia transitioned into The Rock overnight? No, that took time. That took years. Years of death threats before The Rock before Rocky Maivia became the fucking Rock. And even when he became The Rock, it took at least a good year or two before he became The Rock that you know and love today. You have someone like an MJF who cannot get himself out of that position. Granted, I know he was put in that position, but again, I still believe his talents. If he's as talented as he makes himself out to be, he should be able to get himself out of that position. But why is he in that position to begin with? Why isn't MJF given more material when he was a heel, when he's now a babyface? Why is he given more material to work with to distinguish himself as being one of the better champions? To actually build prestige for that world championship belt that he's holding. It's because of Tony Khan. Were you not catching on this entire time? How the fuck, and he's been doing this for years, and it's so fucking, oh god, it just burns my fucking brain when he does this. Never mind never main eventing your world champion, because he never fucking does. He never main events his world champions. He barely gives them more than one fucking segment. Barely. Hell, he doesn't even show them on television sometimes. He may show them in a promo package for 30 seconds and say, they'll be here next week. They'll be on Collision. He doesn't even have the fucking balls to show them on actual television week after week in something meaningful. He can't even fucking do that with his world champion. Yet you're expecting us to give a shit about the world champion after you have done everything to undermine your world champion. Not just MJF. This goes back to a fucking Jon Moxley. This goes back to a Kenny Omega. Hell, one may argue to a lesser degree, this goes all the way back to a CM Punk. And he only had the belt for like 24 fucking minutes. You know, Hangman Adam Page is by far, and I don't want to hear any disputes arguing this. I don't want to hear anything like, whoa, Devontae, did you see Rey Mysterio's reign in 2006? Did you see Chris Jericho's reign in 2001? Do you know what you're talking about currently at the moment, Devontae? I don't want to hear your mumble rap fucking mindset, okay? I don't want to hear any of your brain rot, okay? Someone like a Hangman Adam Page and his title reign should be easily transitioned over to a European Championship run back in the year 2000 on Sunday Night Heat. That's Hangman Adam Page's World Heavyweight Championship reign. You could take that exact same type of reign, his feuds and everything, juxtapose that to the European Championship in the Attitude Era back in the year 2000, and I really can't see the difference all too well. Kind of hard. I really can't. And one may argue even the European champions in the year 2000, such as, I don't know, an Eddie Guerrero, for an example, had better runs as European champion than Hangman Adam Page has with the World Heavyweight Championship, and they weren't even like maybe 5th on the rank when it comes to focal point on the television show. But then again, that's where the comparisons are made. Because Hangman Adam Page was 5th in regards to being a focal point on a fucking television show. Just like MJF currently right now is the world champion, and honestly, looking at the grand scheme of things, he's number fucking 2. No, I'm sorry. Let's rewind that back for a second. He's number fucking 3. Because one may argue currently at the moment the stuff that the Blackpool Combat Club is doing, in particular with Bryan Danielson, is more important than what the fucking MJF is doing. Because our number 1 right now currently is Christian and Edge. That's what's going on right now. Christian and Edge are the focal point of AEW Dynamite over the likes of an MJF who's the world champion. Oh, and Bryan Danielson. He's 3rd, or 2nd, excuse me, over a fucking MJF. Hell, even within his same fucking feud with Adam Cole, there's more focal point put on Adam Cole and Roderick Strong than it is the world champion is a part of this. This is his feud also, and Adam Cole and Roddy have more of a thing going on currently at the moment than an MJF who's a part of this. He's a fucking geek. He's a geek. He's a dork. He's being a fucking... this is fucking wrestling cuckold to the goddamn extreme. Sitting there watching two guys, run your feud while you're the world champion. He's a wrestler cuck. He's a cuck wrestler. He's a sneako of fucking wrestling. He's the Adam 22 of fucking wrestling. Pull up a chair, MJF. Pick up your little BBB title and put it on your shoulder and watch Adam Cole and fucking Roderick Strong pretend they have BBCs over your BBB right in front of your goddamn face. You fucking idiots. Not MJF, maybe the character, but more so Tony Khan for making his characters look this way. It's not that fucking hard. It's really not that fucking hard. Fuck the fact of putting heat on your world champion. Just fucking show them more often. And none of this fucking encompassing them in the middle of the fucking card, giving them 15 minutes. No, you show them in the fucking beginning, you show them in the middle, and you show them in the end. That's the bare fucking minimum, honestly. In reality, you probably should be showing little short skits in between all that also, but the bare fucking minimum. Let them open up the show, remind them of what's happening towards the end of the show, in the middle of the show, and then actually deliver in the end of the show. No, but we're so fucking busy giving fucking 18 minutes to an opener involving one half of 2 tag teams for your fucking mid-card championship to do spot after spot after fucking spot after fucking spot for people who don't give a shit about them besides the people who are already in that fucking building or people who are typing "this is awesome" in your shitty fucking thread on your shitty fucking Twitter page. Because those are the only ones who actually give a fuck. People who are actually turning the channel and seeing a midget wrestle another fucking midget and realizing, hey, that's not Rey Mysterio, that's some other bullshit Rey guy. And then turning the fucking channel again. No one gives a fuck about this. No one gives a fuck about your gymnastic routine bullshit. We want to invest in characters. We want to see story. We want to see none of this choreographed bullshit. This choreographed bullshit is nothing more than displaying the climax. It's the action that's carrying out the story that people want to fucking see. That's human nature. When I'm reading a fucking book, I'm not going from chapter 1 to chapter 2 to chapter 3 to chapter 4 to read about the acrobatic stuff that's going on in the book, to read about the action that is taking place in the book. No, it's reading the action to see the story play out. The plot is pushing me through the book. When I'm watching a movie, I'm not watching to see John Wick shoot people in the fucking head in impossible ways. No. I want to see John Wick get to the final boss that fucked him over in the beginning of the movie. Everything else is what they say in wrestling, gaga. And MJF is nothing but straight fucking gaga. But hell, it's gaga minus even being shown on the fucking show mainly. Your world championship literally has no prestige on it whatsoever. The TNT championship has more prestige than your world championship. Hell, even from a matchmaking standpoint, if you guys want to go all over the match mark bullshit, that fucking international championship from a match standpoint has more quality matches underneath its belt than the world championship with MJF at the helm of the world championship. So from a story standpoint, TNT belt takes the cake. From a match standpoint, international championship takes the cake. What the fuck does MJF do as a world champion? And it's seriously not that hard of a fucking concept. You bury him thinking that you're actually doing something innovative. Get out of your own fucking way, Tony. You got a guy who claims himself to be a generational talent, but he's not. He needs help. He needs your help. But all you do in the end of the day is think to yourself, well, I'll just believe what he says because I don't know what the fuck actual talent looks like. Talent looks like what I perceive talent to look like, not what the rest of the general audience thinks talent looks like. Talent looks like what I perceive talent to look like, not what the ratings of the paired apart of 50 to 60 years tells me otherwise, from territories up until cable stations. Now, what I believe talent to be like is what talent is like. And that's swearing or doing super kicks. That's all you need. This is nonsense. Absolute fucking nonsense. Give the world championship to Christian and let him and Edge show you how it's really fucking done. Let me hear your comments down in the comment section down below. Millennial, Devontae, however you like to refer to me, you're a complete fucking idiot. You don't know anything about professional wrestling. You sit here behind your keyboard, you sit here behind your microphone, and you want to pretend as if you know everything about wrestling without working in the business. Because of course, I have to eat Doritos. I have to make Doritos. I have to be in the factory. I have to know the ingredients and mix it all together. And I have to package up every fucking Dorito bag before I can fucking tell you how I really feel. I can't tell you how I feel unless I make said bag of Doritos, right? Fucking illogical is absolute shit, right? But of course that logic is put into professional wrestling. I have to be a wrestler to tell you, to have a reason. If I'm not a wrestler, I can't give my opinion. Just like if I'm not a factory worker making fucking Doritos for $5 an hour, I can't give an opinion about why I hate Doritos. Because that's the world we live in today. That's the world we live in today. Facts over feelings. How about you argue against the facts? How about instead of covering up and making your little fantasy world of MJF being so fucking awesome as a world champion when he's really fucking not? How about instead of cuddling yourself away from the facts, you argue against the facts? And if you can't argue against the facts, how about admitting that the facts happen to be the facts? And let's go back and forth and let's suggest things as to what Tony Khan should be doing or could be doing to make MJF stand out more. Or let's just start over and give the world championship to Edge and Christian and let them take care of that. Trust me, with how Tony's paying Edge, they'll be the main event more often than not. And trust me, they'll actually treat it like a world fucking championship. They'll treat the world championship as the world championship should be treated. Don't like what I'm saying? Cry about it, douchebag. As always, my name is Devontae. Deuces P. Ice.